It's a
so
miracle. And
we
it's snowing outside. Can you see that there's snow? I mean, it's not hitting the ground and
oh my goodness.
staying, but it is turtleneck weather still.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
gosh.
sad?
Yeah, we're in May. Oh
I
my
know.
goodness.
But I live in a ski town, so there you go.
Because you're in Colorado.
No,
Right?
Utah.
Utah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Utah it stays cold for a while, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah.
does. And you're reminded of that every May and
Yes.
June when we get snow. Hey, I'm really sorry. I'm supposed to be on Dolfin Swimwear's
No
Instagram
worries.
account, but apparently I can't type. And so I typed the password in 3 times and then it kicked me out. It
Oh,
said,
hate
"You
that.
are an imposter and you need to get out of here." And I was like,
Oh,
what have I done?
don't worry, that
Oh,
happens.
God. It's a Monday, y'all.
It's a Monday. We're good. We're going. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I just have to let you know, it is such an honor to be able to talk to you. As you know, my name is Summer as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually named after you. My parents named me after you. So I think it's kind of crazy that I can talk to you now, and it's just such an honor. So I just wanted to let you know.
Well, the honor is all mine. I mean, look at you. And I saw your Mother's Day post with your mom. Who was the inspiration? Your mom or your dad, or was it a collective?
It was a collective. Honestly, they both looked up to you a lot in the swimming world because they both swam. My dad actually was on, or you were on Capitol Hill Aquatics or Capitol Aquatics, right?
California Capital. Yeah.
Capitol, and then my dad was on Concord Pleasant Hill,
Oh,
otherwise known as Terrapins, right? And so he swam for the Terrapins, and they both watched you swim, your whole life, and really looked up to you and what you did with your life, and even after swimming. And so they're like that's who we name our daughter after. And so
oh,
I came out, and they're like, so there it is.
I
So
love
it's
it. I'm so honored. And it's like such a joy for me to meet people. First of all, I love the name. And when I was growing up, there were no other Summers around.
right.
So there's a part of me that just, there's such joy in the fact that that name is, I hear it more often. And like just the other day, my daughter rides horses, and the woman who was in charge of the barn, her name was Summer. And I thought to myself, well, this is going to be interesting because now my head's going to turn every time someone says Summer because we're so spoiled, right?
Exactly,
But it's
yes.
changing because more of us are named Summer. So this is great.
And you started it. You started it. I swear.
Well,
I
my
swear.
mom did, let's be
Yes.
honest. And my brother, really, because he was supposed to get the name. He was born on the first day of summer, but they didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl. So they were like, well, let's name him Summer or her Summer if it's a girl. And he popped out a boy. So he got Trevor. And then
Forever.
they loved the name so much that they gave it to me. And even though I'm October 13th, so it doesn't make
I'm
any sense.
baby. I'm a winter baby, January. So I totally feel it. It's okay. I think we live up to the name. We live up to the
Totally.
we
Totally.
bring sunshine where we go.
There you go. There you go.
But you, it's so, so cool. Just to get started, we all want to know a little bit more about you, and for our audience who is watching, who might not know you as well. When did you start swimming? When was like your first? Because I actually have a photo of you at your first swim meet wearing your dolphin swimsuit, and then you
Uh-huh.
wear it as a day.
Yeah.
Was that your first swim meet, or when was that?
Well, that was my first competitive team. Like my first, we called it AAU back then. So yes, and that was my dolphin swimsuit. It was for a team called SIAC, Sierra Aquatic Club. We trained at Sierra College, which used to be the summer home of the San Francisco 49ers. So we would roll on into practice and we see all the defensive and offensive linemen hanging out in like 5 inner tubes and jumping off the diving boards. I mean, these diving boards were like arced to the max
Oh,
and then pushing back up. So here's my story. I had a backyard pool growing up in California, and my mom was a lifeguard growing up in Tacoma, Nebraska. So for her, water safety and pool safety was imperative. It was paramount. There was no negotiation. So months I had backyard swimming lessons in my backyard pool, and I hated every second of it. I cried every time I had to get in the water. Every time you mentioned my instructor's name, I cried.
mm,
So then I joined a year-round team when I was about 4 years. Oh, not a year-round team. I joined a summer team when I was about 4 years old. and they wanted me to be 6, but they said if she can swim a lap at the pool, she can join. And then my first year-round team was SIAC, and there is the Dolfin swimsuit, and that's the extra sleek, and it actually still exists, as you saw. I did like a comparative picture, and it comes in, I think, 6 different colors, right? So it's that I have my yellow on the side. I call it gold. I call it gold, and then the black or the navy, whatever color you want to call it, and it's awesome. So I love that it still exists.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you're still rocking it till today, and you guys who are watching, you can get it as well, and so you can be matching with Summer
Yeah,
Sanders.
let's
Um,
do it.
let's do it. I think I need to get one. You remember your first ever swim race, like your first ever competition swim race?
Well, so my summer rec team, it was a huge deal in Northern California. Everyone swam in the summertime. And my team, hopefully maybe we have some people on here from the Sugar Bears. They don't exist anymore, but we were pretty awesome. And so I was a part of the Sugar Bears. And I do remember my very first race because, like I said, I wanted to be just like my brother and join the swim team. And it was age 4. It's so funny. I think SwimOutlet just started a live video, and I thought we were like a part of SwimOutlet, so I'm so confused. I don't know. I just got a notification. This Instagram thing is crazy at times.
I feel you.
Okay, so I'm 4 years old, and I had the guts to try out for this team, but now I'm standing on the blocks for my first race, and I started to cry. And so my mom stops the meet because it's a summer rec league, and you can kind of do whatever you want in summer rec league. So she stops the meet, and it was the old school like gun,
Yeah.
and so the guy puts the gun down, and my mom comes over and talks to me, and she said, "Now, Summer, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But if you want to, like, look who's at the other end of the pool. It's your friends and your brother and your brother's friends and your dad and your babysitter. Like, anyone who loved me was down at the end of the pool. It was a packed house." So she said somewhere in between that pep talk, my face turned from sheer terror to a look of determination. And so she signaled to the gunman. She said, "Hey, okay, let's start this race." And off I went, belly flopped in the pool, and swam my heart out to the other end. And that was the first time I felt an addiction to being really nervous to do something, very scared to do it, pushing myself to do it, and then feeling that amazing sense of accomplishment. And I became addicted to that feeling.
Yes. Wow. What a great first race story.
It was
It's
fun.
it's kind of a similar one, I think, for all swimmers. We have to kind of get over that fear when you first start swimming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, getting behind the blocks when you're young and going for it. And so that's something I feel like all swimmers can really relate to.
Yeah.
It's first race of overcoming that fear. And once you do it, right, like you said, you get addicted to it.
Yeah. I mean, think about your first 500 free, your first 100 butterfly, your first 100 butterfly long course. Then there's the 200 fly. I mean, those are real fears, right? My son swam the 100 butterfly long course, and he really said to him, "You might feel like you're going to drown. So what I need you to do is not cry during the race." And I
Right.
said, "This is very real. You can't do that because you won't be able to get enough water. So if you feel like panicked and worried, you have to hold your tears until you're done with the race." And only a swimmer knows that, I mean, like, I get it, buddy, but you can do this.
Yeah.
And, you can stop on the wall at the 50 if you want to, really grab your breath and get your guts again and go that last lap. He totally did it. He survived. But anyone who's done it knows that fear.
Oh, absolutely. And what I can only imagine is being at the Olympics for the first time, or just, your first race at the Olympics. I want to talk about, how did you feel then when you were at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona? What did that feel like when you were up for your first race? And then also, what was your favorite race at that swim meet?
Great questions. First race was just excited to be there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it was just such a thrill. I think of my friends and my teammates, Nicole Hazlett, Jeannie Wagstaff, and we were just excited. I mean, because our trials were in March. Our
Right.
trials were in March. Then we went to NCAAs. Then we went back to training. And then somewhere out of nowhere, we're like, "Oh, that's right. We're Olympians. So now we get to go to the Olympics." we do a training camp in France, and then they bus us into Barcelona, and we kind of had forgotten that we made the team, right? Or like what that feeling was supposed to be like. So we feel that feeling when we arrive at the Olympic Village. And then we really feel that feeling when we hit the pool for the first time. And then we really, really feel it when we're standing on the blocks for our first race. So my first race was first day, 400 IM. I was very excited for that race. I wanted to win, of course. I couldn't, I knew it would be really difficult to win that race. So I went in there as experience and to have fun. And that's what I did. And then my favorite race was the 200 IM. And I was so gutsy. I felt like I was really like gutsy and aggressive, and I mean, only mean in the competitive sense, not mean to my competitors, but I felt really fierce.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting the silver in that race. But in both those races, I broke my Heroes American record in Tracy Calkins. So it was a big deal for me. And then, you know, my gold medal race was very last day of our competition. And I was exhausted mentally and physically. I didn't even think I was going to be able to finish the race. So I had to dig deeper. And I say this to any of the kids or parents who are listening, or coaches who are listening possibly, that there's a reason why you continue to practice till the very end of your 2-hour session, right? And there's a reason why your coach is asking you to push yourself that one extra time. And there's a reason why you should think about how you're swimming in that moment, because you will call upon it. And I called upon it during the entire 200 butterfly. I just thought about getting my arms out of the water. Go back to your stroke. Just go back to your stroke. And I know that sounds really lame, but that's all I kept saying, because I was so tired and so tight, and I didn't feel at all like myself.
Right.
And somehow, some way, I touched the wall first and hung on.
Wow, the way you said that, you know, you called upon that. You called upon
Mm-hmm.
that you know, that voice in your head that tells you to keep going, go back to your strength. And that's so pivotal for swimmers to go back to that real kind of have that gear,
Yeah.
in mind to go back to when they're in the middle of that race, especially the 200 butterfly. I swam that race as well, so oh my goodness, you do have to have that second gear. And I love the way you said that. You have to call upon it, and there is a reason we go so far past our limits in practice, because we're going to need that superpower at the end of a swim meet, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then after the Olympics, you finished last day, you got your gold medal, and then you were named the most decorated U.S. swimmer. What did that feel like when you found that out?
Well, I mean, I was most decorated because I won the most medals,
Right?
but it was very nice to hear. But I have
Yeah.
to be honest with you, when I was done with my swimming at the Olympics, I wanted to see all the other sports, and I wanted to soak up Barcelona.
Yes.
So this may sound really lame, but there would be a point in time when I would find a medal at the bottom of my bag and kind of forget where it was.
Wow.
So I was raised in a way where swimming was important, but it wasn't everything.
Mm.
And so I lived that way during the games, where when my swimming was done, I knew these are memories that I could create here beyond my sport. I'm ready to go do it. So I went and saw as many. I mean, I went to the dream team final. I mean, come on, the only dream team that has ever existed. There will never be another. And those are memories and moments. Even the journey to get to the game, where we were late. I was with 3 of my swim friends, and we bribed the bus driver with pins to not stop at any stop. So like the Spanish bus driver was driving so fast, I thought he was going to break his accordion bus. Like, and we were the only ones on it. We just kept giving him pins, like, don't stop, don't stop, so we could get to the dream team final. It was awesome.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And what a great way to live your life, especially as a swimmer. And I think that kind of goes back into what we'll talk about a little later is, health and wellness in swimming. And a mindset like that, that is a healthy way to look at swimming and not make it everything, right?
Yeah.
And so after you were done swimming, how did you, for a lot of swimmers, it's hard after they finish their career to transition into something new. How did you transition from swimming into television? Tell us how did that work out?
Well, I always wanted to be on television, so that transition was easier. I didn't finish swimming and then go, I wonder what I want to do. Oh, this television, maybe I'll give that a try. It was a simultaneous passion and desire. So I think having that is, I always encourage athletes. I always say to them, you can actually be great at something and then be focusing on two things, right?
Mm.
And actually, when you focus on two things, it might make you even better at your original thing, right? So if I want to be an Olympic swimmer, what we're seeing now is we're seeing parents, we're seeing dads and moms hopping on the starting blocks and attempting to be amazing at their sport at the same time. Not easy by any means, and I would never say that that is what people should do. But I think that when it comes to your life after swimming, you should think about it before you're done. So for me, it's what I wanted to do. So I auditioned for every single thing that I could get my hands on. I was doing swimming commentary, which was very easy for me to step into. And thank goodness for CBS to allow me to do it. It was it was like the best crew ever that I had in the very beginning of my career. It was like dream team. It was unbelievable. Andrea Joyce was one of them. Vern Lundquist was another. I mean, just unbelievable. So I went to swimming commentary, and then from there I auditioned for my MTV show. I figured out Nickelodeon show, NBA Inside Stuff, all these things. And so I think really obviously it was the passion I had to be on television and something I knew I wanted to do since I was like 10 years old. But so that's what I encourage athletes to do. Think about what it is you're passionate about. You can have two passions. And the sooner you start thinking about that, the easier the transition will be. If you wait till the moment, people are going to say to you, oh, you're an Olympian. Anybody's going to want to hire you, right? So it really is this amazing sea of opportunity, but you can easily drown in it if you don't have direction. If you don't have a sail and a wind, you're not going to know where to go, and you can spiral.
Wow. I wish I heard that coming out of college. I wish I heard that coming out like 3 years ago, because it's so true that, having two things at once in life, other than, having something other than something that you're passionate about. I think I struggled with that a lot. I was so focused, all in, all my eggs were in one basket. And I think a lot of swimmers are like that. And so that's such good advice. I think that's the best advice I've ever heard for swimming.
Oh.
And I swear, because it's so important now that I'm 25 and moved out, figured from that swimming life. It's taken me a little bit to figure out what do I love to do. And so this is so amazing. That's such an amazing piece of advice. And everyone listening, write that down.
Well, sometimes you need clearance to know that it's okay to think about two things. I mean, especially swimming, we're so hyper focused, right? There are a lot of sports, especially ball sports, where you go from one season to the next season to the next season. So you get this break in thinking about that one sport. And I think that's so healthy. I truly believe that when a swimmer has something else that they're passionate about, whether it's music, I mean, look at Elizabeth Beisel, man. She can play music by ear. She's a violinist, a pianist. She's an Olympic swimmer. She's now getting into television. Yeah. So when you can have multiple talents, right? You can have multiple focuses. It kind of makes you better, and at times, at your original passion.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't agree more with you. That's such good advice. Highly recommend everyone listening. You need to take up a hobby other than swimming.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just transitioning topics, going from kind of going back to swimming and how when you were a club swimmer at Capital Aquatics.
California Capital Aquatics.
Uh-huh. What would be your best, advice for a club swimmer when shopping for competition suits? Of course, we knew Dolfin was something, a swimmer company that you loved. What would be your best advice for shopping, like for moms and kids, on what would be the best competition suit?
Yeah, I mean, something that lasts, right?
Yeah.
I'm a mom, right? And so, and I actually had to look up the names because they get complicated to remember all the names. So I want to make sure I got it right. It's the Reliance suit by Dolfin, right? And it comes in 3 different team, and they're all the names are amazing. It's like Renegade, Cyclone, and Inferno, right?
Yeah.
Classic colors, but the most important thing about this line of competition swimsuit is that it's 100% polyester. It lasts, right? So although I want to say that your suit makes a difference, I just want you to be able to have a suit that lasts until you get to the main big swim meet. So pick a suit that you're not going to be breaking the bank on, that you know if you take care of and you rinse out and you dry off and you hang up, you know, do all those things. Treat your suits nice. My mom, I lived with my mom 6 months and my dad 6 months out of the year. My mom bought most of my swimsuits. She made it very clear to me that this was not a given and that this was very special. So I needed to take care of my suits. If I lost a swimsuit, it was a very huge deal to her overall budget. So I took care of my suits. Yes. And so even as a mom now, I'm crazy with my kids when it comes to their suits. You rinse them out, you hang them up. I get so mad at them when they're still all in that, like, you know, when you roll them off of your body and they're all rolled up still in the towel.
On the ground. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But it was because of the way I was raised, and I was raised with Dolfin. So yeah, that's why I love that swimsuit. It's the first thing I think of. I don't want to spend a ton of money on something that's going to last for 1 season. I want it to last a few seasons.
Exactly. And I told the teacher that we have right down, I don't know, yeah, I just pinned the Dolfin Reliance swimsuit. So the 48 people who are watching can check out the product we're talking about right there. So that's awesome. Out of all of the Dolfin suits and styles that you kind of mentioned, what's your all-time favorite?
So it's the one, I post them often because I love them. I just think they're so flattering. And I've had many of my friends, I mean, I'm 48 right now. I try to stay in shape and all that, but when you have a couple of kids and you enjoy life, you need a little tucking in here and there. So Aqua Shape, and it's the, God, I forget it. It's like the moderate ruched front suit. So it's color blocked. I have the one that's blue and then like a royal yummy blue. I wouldn't even call it a royal blue. It's like a brighter royal blue and then a navy blue. And then there's that purple, and I'm standing on the rock. I look at it often because it makes me, you know, remember the time when I was at the beach and when I'm sitting here with snow behind me. That's kind of nice to remember. But I just think it's really, really flattering, and it's really flattering on a lot of body types. So I have a ton of my friends who are like, what suit, first of all, is functional, because I can't in this day and age dive into a pool and worry about my suit falling off. Right. And I'm going to still dive in that pool. So, you know, but I want it to be functional. So I want to be able to swim in it and not worry about anything. And then I want to feel good in it. And I think that that's what Dolfin is so good with when it comes to Aqua Shape. They've really designed it for comfort and confidence. And, you know, I want people to get in the pool. So I don't want them to worry about their suit. I don't want them to worry about their equipment. Just get in and just trust me and go find the suit. Are you putting it up on the bottom?
Yeah, so for the Aqua Shape, we actually have that. It's coming to our site soon. So it's not up on our site yet, but it is going to be there soon. So we'll send all that information out once Aqua Shape is live on SwimOutlet.
And then I just want to give people, so when you buy it, I just want to make sure, trust in the strength of the stretch. Okay. So you're going to stretch it over your hips, but because a lot of the people who might buy it didn't grow up swimmers, right? And we swimmers know how a suit stretches. And so you want it to stretch a little bit, right? You want to feel a little bit to get over your hips, because then it's going to help with your midsection and it's going to feel so good. It's not going to be suffocating. It's going to be just the perfect tuck in, where it's going to give you, it's going to give you a really good look. And I just want people to feel good by the pool. And I want them to wear their suit all day long, right? Just walk around in your swimsuit and walk with your head high, because you look good.
And right after this, because unfortunately I can't show photos when we're doing an interview you, but after this interview, I'm going to show them that suit.
Okay,
So,
good.
from a photo. So everybody who's watching, I'll be able to show you stay until the end. I'll show you guys a slideshow of photos of the suit that she's talking about right now.
Okay.
Super cute. Do you, I know you have some adorable babies. And do
They're
they,
not babies anymore.
oh,
Isn't that crazy?
how old are they now?
Spider's 13 and Sky is 15. She
Oh
just
my
got
gosh,
her permit. She's driving me around.
they
Oh
are
yeah.
not more.
No.
That's crazy. Wow. Do they wear any of like the Uglies collection or
All of
anything?
them. Are you kidding? And I steal them too. Sky's got the llamas. She's got all the animal prints.
So
And
cute.
and then we mix them up. Like we kind of share each other's
Yeah,
swimsuits.
I love
She
it.
gets really bummed out when I steal like her top. I'll steal her top and wear it with a different bottom, which I highly recommend for anybody. Buy all these uglies and just buy a bunch of tops, you know, and the bottoms, switch them out and make it your own. I mean, Spider loves the holiday stuff. So
Yeah.
obviously his name is Spider. Halloween, we had a Halloween suit. I forget when it was, but it had a bunch of spider webs on it. It was purple. And we love the holiday one. The holiday swimsuit's so cute. It's really cute because it's not as if you want people like diving in really close and looking at the pattern, but it is enough where people are really, really looking at your suit and trying to figure out all of the different. I think there's dreidels on there, there's candy canes, there's like Santa. It's like every like you know, December, November holiday you could fit on a swimsuit. Dolphin has it with uglies.
Exactly. The Uglies collection is one of my favorites as well. It's such a unique, collection and of, all these cool suits. And they've been around for a long time. And those suits last too. If, like you said, if you take good care of your suit, they will last a long time.
Yeah.
And it's so fun that you share your suits too. That's so fun.
Well, and I think, you know, when I was swimming, I was kind of first generation two-piece training suit, right? I mean, that was like, hold up.
Yeah.
How is the bottom gonna stay up when I do a flip turn, right? Because I really swim. I'm not the casual swimmer. How is this really gonna hold up? So the uglies are that second, third, fourth generation. They are awesome. And there is no question. So it's really, they've gotten it right. And you're right. The material is,
So
it's
nice.
equally soft, but it holds up.
Yeah, that was the the first two piece I ever tried was a Dolphin two piece, and I remember I was club swimming, and everyone was like, oh, "What are you wearing?" Because it's like it was new, wearing two
Uh-huh.
this wasn't a thing yet, and so we're slowly getting into it as well. And the Dolphin two piece, the Uglies, they were a hit. They were a
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
And I love how your kids wear them too. Just also switching into talking about being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
because you are not only this amazing Olympic swimmer, TV personality, actress, commentator, you're also a mom. And that's the best, I think, title, out of all the accomplishments you've had. Being a mom, let's talk about that. What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Oh, it's the best. I put mom first on everything. I'm Sky and Spider's mom where I live. No one
Yeah,
knows really who I am, right? That
right.
I ever won these Olympic medals or that I was a chlorinated kid at one point in time. Being a mom is great. Being a mom is challenging. It's frustrating. The most common question I got from people soon after being a parent, when they would look at me as an Olympian, is how did being an athlete prepare you for parenthood? And I
Right.
said it didn't, because you absolutely cannot control what these human beings do. You can set parameters, you can set limitations, you can give them a foundation of what's right and wrong, but you also have to let them make mistakes and you also have to let them find their own way. And when you are hyper scheduled and controlling kind of an athlete with your own schedule, that's really difficult to do. And my daughter is strong-willed and she has a clear idea of who she is and what she's going to be and how she's going to get there. And I have to step back and let her do that and watch sometimes it not work out okay,
Mhm.
right? And then be there to support her. But I would tell you the greatest Mother's Day gift, I spent Mother's Day at a horse show. So all last weekend, I was being blown in the face by dirt. It was hot. It was then rainy. It was then freezing. It was hot again. And my daughter had had 2 knee surgeries this winter. So this was her like 6th time back on her horse.
Oh my God.
And she was equal parts nervous. She was scared because it's eventing. And that means you hop on your horse and you run across a giant field and jump over inanimate objects. And so I could tell her nervousness and she was holding tight a bit to it. So I gave her like these words of encouragement that were, see yourself doing well, trust in your ability, take it as slow as you want to. You don't have to rush through it. Your expectations should be really, should be right here, not up here. She finished her cross country and it was phenomenal. And I was walking back into the barn and there's this long aisleway, and she came running down that aisleway and jumped into my arms. And all my friends saw it and they were trying to pull their camera out, take a picture of it. But it was just this moment of where I think she really needed me. And that is the joy of being a mom, where you let go for a second, you let them do it, but you're always there when they need that hug. And it was the best Mother's Day gift of my life.
Oh my gosh.
It really was.
Look at it. Making me tear up. Sorry, I'm in class. I feel things. I felt that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
thing. Wow. That I think I want to be a mom now.
It was special. It's special, and it's not easy. Being a parent is just not easy.
Yeah.
But it's so rewarding. It really is. And anyway, my kids are great. I always say I lucked out. It's not me. It's these amazing kids are who they are.
That's so amazing. And, but you do have some to do with it.
Oh, well, occasionally.
Are this amazing super mom. And did you find it hard to balance, work life and being a mom? Was that something that was a struggle at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being away, I remember missing my daughter's ballet recital because I had to be in Orlando for an event. Absolutely. I was late. I arrived home the afternoon of my son's, I think his 5th birthday, because I had a follow-up audition for a television show on ABC in LA. And I remember talking to my best girlfriend and saying, do I do this audition? They've called me back for a second audition, so that means I have to stay. Do I stay for it, or do I just go home? Because I was being torn. Do I go there for Spider's birthday? And she says, well, will this benefit the family? Will this benefit your family if you stay and audition, if you were to get this job? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, it's a job and it's my career, so of course it will. And she said, then you stay and you explain it to Spider. And I did, and everything was okay.
That's good. That's amazing. Yeah, that's good. That's a great way to think of things on how to balance, your career and being a mom is, will this benefit my family? I love that.
Yeah.
A lot.
I have a really good friend. She's a lawyer. She speaks to me in like lawyer terms, right? So she breaks it down in like very realistic, here are the facts, kid, right? So now make your decision off of this. Try to take some of the emotion out of it. And remember that your kid is turning 5. And by the way, she did maybe say, he'll forget it. He has not forgotten it. Remember that time when you were late for my birthday? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I brought you Heelys. How come you don't remember those Heelys that I brought you, which we couldn't find in Park City, but I found them in LA. So I was like, just be careful, kid.
Hey, if he got Heelys, he needs to be happy. Those are cool. Those are cool.
Those were cool.
I had a pair too. Those are awesome. That's awesome. And great advice too on breaking things down on what that balance really looks like. And how important would you say health and wellness comes to, swim, and for, how do you bring health and wellness? What does that even mean? Like bringing that to swimming? What would be your best advice on that?
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 things I really love for exercise, running and swimming. I always say running is my heart and swimming is my soul. So swimming to me is, first of all, to all those swimmers out there, whether you're young or middle-aged or older, we're all going to need our sport again at some point in our life. I say that because my mom in February broke her hip. and it was devastating, like devastating. I didn't know she was going to make it. It was that devastating. She was in so much pain, and we were waiting for her to get surgery. So I went out there and I was taking care of her the first week. My sister-in-law went out there and took care of her the second week. My brother was the third week. And now she's getting back in the pool. And now I keep reminding her, you can't be scared of the water. If you fall in the water, you fall in the water because you were raised a water kid.
Right.
Like, this is when being a swimmer is going to come back and benefit you big time. So she lives in Palm Springs. It's getting really hot there, and she's getting in the water all the time. So health and wellness is equal parts exercising your heart, and more so even now, it's exercising your mind. It's that connection with your limbs. It's that connection with your balance. It's elongating your joints and your ligaments and getting everything to work in the same wheel and spoke so that we're all balanced. And I just think it's such a gift to be able to have swimming and to be able to come back to it whenever you want to. And that's what my mom's doing right now. She's coming back to the sport of swimming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's an amazing story. And I love how you said, running's your heart and swimming is your soul.
Yeah.
And that is a great way to put it for how to bring, that story, bringing health and wellness, with swimming. And that's amazing that she's got back to after having that happen to her.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And how is she now? How, is she doing?
Oh, it's a long road. It's a long road. She had to have surgery. She has a metal rod that goes 7 inches into her femur. She couldn't get a hip replacement because she broke it too badly. So yeah, it's a long road. And here's the other thing swimming does is it makes you hungry. And so it's literally getting you moving. It's getting your metabolism going. And at her age, she needs to have that hunger, not only to get better and for life, but an actual hunger to eat more. And so that's what, and I'm gonna bring her out here, and she's gonna stay with me for a little while. We're gonna get in the pool. We're gonna do some walking. We're gonna do some AquaShape also has this wonderful ambassador that it does like aqua exercising. And I think it's just so vital, it's vital to her vitality and life. Pardon. Shh.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I have people in my house. Hola, señores. Perdón, un momento. Lo siento.
That's awesome. That's a long road, but thank God for swimming, and to have you be there for her as well. That's I bet she loves that, having you.
Well, I mean, it's just a reminder to everyone. And I say it to anyone, when you learn to swim, no matter what age it is, you're going to need it again in life at some point. We can't, there are a few of us, right, that can play really competitive sports, soccer and baseball and run and all that forever. But for the most part, our joints are going to be wanting a little relaxation. And I think going into the pool will help. It's the longevity, right?
Yes.
We want to stay healthy for a long time. We don't just want to be healthy right now. We want to be healthy forever. And so the longevity, and that's where swimming is a longevity wellness. Did you just hear me speaking Spanish, by the way?
Yeah.
It is so funny because we lived in Spain for a year. And so every chance I get to speak Spanish, and we have, we're changing out some tile right now. Yeah. And so I was speaking Spanish with them, and then I come back over here and I speak just a little bit of Spanish with you guys. I just love it. It's a life. To learn another language is an absolute life. And that language with all of their tenses and I'm just thinking in Spanish right now. I totally dreamt in Spanish last night. It was so funny. I was just dreaming in Spanish. I forget what I was saying, but anyway.
How long did it take you to, are you fluent?
No, I'm not.
I'm
not fluent at all. My kids are fluent. They're fluent. Well, I say fluent as you can be when it's not your maternal language.
Right. Right.
Because people throw out, "Oh, I'm fluent," so quickly, I feel like, but no, I'm not fluent. Like, for instance, there were certain words that I don't know. I didn't actually know how to say tile. When you're talking about your automobile, there are certain parts of your automobile that I don't even know how to say it in English. Right.
That's so cool though when did you start? Was it at the Olympics? And then
well, I started in high school. And I wish I had paid attention more in high school. Let's just put it that way. And then my kids got into the dual immersion program at our public school here in Park City. So
Cool.
they half of their day since kindergarten has been content in Spanish.
Wow.
And then Sky actually takes the AP test on Tuesday. But both Eric and I were like, yes, we would love for our kids to do well on the AP test, but our real goal with language is to be able to speak it, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so we figured the only way that they would really be able to to speak it,
Learning. Yeah,
learn it and speak it would be boots on the ground in a country that speaks Spanish. So we
exactly.
went to Spain. So we went to northern Spain and we lived there from 2018 to 2019.
Wow.
And then we surfed and we just checked out for a second of life. And my husband and I went to Spanish class every single day. The kids were in public school and that
Wow.
was our life.
Wow. What a cool little season of life. And
It
that's
was.
like goes hand in hand with what we're talking about on health and wellness. I think doing things like that in your life is you don't have that stimulation of learning new things, language that you know that helps a lot with your mental health, I would say, because you're immersing yourself into a new culture, and that's how beautiful and fun that is, and important.
Well, I think both, my husband and I were quite lucky. He's an Olympic skier.
Yeah.
So he spent a ton of his life in Europe. We traveled between the both of us. We've traveled enough for 50 lifetimes, right? So
Yeah.
I think we both had this strong desire to show our kids another culture.
Right.
There is the American lifestyle, but then there are many others. And both my husband and I fell in love with New Zealand. So originally, before we had kids, we were like, let's live in New Zealand for a year. Let's just show the kids this culture and this lifestyle, just because we loved it so much. But then the kids got into dual immersion. And so we realized, oh, I think this is about language as much as it is about culture. So then we thought Spain would be perfect because it's in Europe
Yeah.
and we can go to many different countries and they can see many different cultures while living in Spain. And so we chose an area, we chose Cantabria, so we were living in Santander, and it's Castellano Spanish, which is just pure Spanish,
Yeah.
the way we see Spanish. But if you're in Spain, there's Basque and Valencian and Catalan and all these other Spanish languages. So that's why they call Castellano. That's the way we know Spanish here. Yeah.
Wow, what a cool life. And that's so amazing. And originally it was New Zealand that you guys fell in love with. Did you guys go back to New Zealand at all?
Yes. So, I mean, and we did this before the year before the pandemic. So there have been many times when we're like, wow, we're so lucky we pulled this off before the world shut down, right? So we did. We spent the whole year in Spain, 11 months. And then the last month, we call it taking the long way home. We went Amsterdam and then down to Africa. We went to Kenya because my daughter has been fostering an elephant with the David Sheldrick Wildlife Fund for years. And so when you are a foster parent, you get to meet your elephant and or see all the baby elephants. So we went to Kenya and then we flew and went on safari in the Masai Mara, which was the greatest trip of our lives. I'd
Oh,
been to Africa quite often, but only for humanitarian work. And so
right.
this is my first time contributing to the
Yeah,
economy of Africa, which I was very excited to do.
right.
And then we went Kenya to Johannesburg just for a flight to then fly Johannesburg to Sydney. I met my best girlfriend, the lawyer who gives me amazing advice
That's what you
in
meant.
Sydney. Yeah, and she was there with her kids. So we were there for a couple nights. And then we went on to New Zealand and the kids had a ski camp with my husband's cousin and his kid, and then another family that we had met. Anyway, so we did a ski camp in New Zealand. It was awesome. It was amazing. They got incredible snow, which was crazy. And then we flew home back through Australia, back to Salt Lake City. And
Wow.
that was the end of our year abroad.
Wow. What a beautiful life you've lived, Summer. This has been so amazing being able to talk to you and learn more about your life and your family and your accomplishments and mom life
Thank you.
and aquashape and dolphin. This has just been so much fun. I'm really, really thankful that I've been able to have this opportunity to speak with such an amazing woman. So thank
Well,
you
I'm
for,
so honored to meet you, my fellow Summer.
yes, I hopefully we'll be able to meet each other in person. That would be awesome.
I would love it.
So cool. I love going up to Utah, and going to Park City, going skiing there.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah.
went up to Park City recently and went skiing. It
Oh,
was
good.
fun.
Yeah. We
That,
need more snow. We need more snow
yeah,
next year, but we have
it's
our
so,
up years and our down years.
yes. Time you should come down to San Diego and we should go surfing. That's an idea.
Yes, please.
That would,
Yes, please.
but thank
I'll
you.
be wearing my uglies. I'll be
Yes,
the one with the ugly on. No, I'll
yes.
have my aqua shape. I'll leave the uglies to the
Okay,
kids.
I'll rock the uglies. I'll rock.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Again, this has been such a great opportunity to learn more about you and your life, and you really are an inspiration for a lot of people. And so much so, my parents named me after you. So this is great, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And after this, I'm going to show the rest of the people watching a couple photos of you.
Awesome.
And so,
Okay.
stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hug your mom for me. Hug your
I
mom
will.
for me.
I
Okay.
will. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Bye. Awesome, guys. How amazing is Summer? She is unbelievable, my inspiration. I'm going to show you guys some photos of some swimsuits. So the aqua shape swimsuit, this is the one that she was referring to, the color block. It's really nice. It fits so well. As you can see, she's rocking it on the pool deck. It fits your body really nice, and you don't have to worry about your suit falling off when you jump into the pool, as she said. And so this is going to be coming to our site at swimoutlet.com soon. So stay tuned for that. Another cute suit we were talking about was we have the graph light, and that is this right here. So this is the graph light. Let's see if I can pin it. Here's the graph light. I'm going to pin the graph light right here so you guys can check it out down below. Really cool, kind of, this is the gray pattern. Really nice coverage on the back. And the materials that Dolfin uses is just so soft and it lasts forever. And a big thing too, what I love about Dolfin Swimwear is their straps aren't so tight that it digs into your shoulders when you're swimming. And when you're swimming for 2 hours, twice a day, those straps can get really buggy. They can bug, and they can rub on your neck, and you can get kind of those rubbing marks. Dolfin Swimwear, I never had that problem at all because the fabric is so soft and it's still durable and it still is tight fitting, but without the hurt of the straps digging into your shoulders. Another amazing one too that we have, that's the graph light. And then this is going to be the Cyclone. This is the Cyclone right here. Really cool. I love the jammers on this one with the black stripes on the side. Really, really cool. So this one's called the Cyclone. And then we're going to go to the next one, Renegade. This is Renegade, the Renegade print. Let's see if I can pin this really quick. Okay, so yep, so there it is. So super cool. We got the kind of red, white, and blue action going. I love the straps. You can see the red and then the black outlining. Really awesome. So this one is the Renegade, Dolfin Renegade. And the last one that I'm going to show you guys really quick is the Extra Sleek. This is the Extra Sleek. As you can tell, they're extra sleek. They look great. Let me pin this one. Here's the Extra Sleek. All right, you guys can check it out right down below above the comments. You can see the Dolfin Extra Sleek, and go shop and get one so you can match the model in the photo. So that's about it for actually the last photo I want to show you guys is, if you've been watching since the very beginning of this interview, Summer mentioned to us about her swimsuit that she wore in the very beginnings of her swimming career. That is her at her first competition swim meet and wearing the Dolfin one piece. and she's wearing it again in real life right there. So if you guys go on SwimOutlet.com, you can check out Dolfin Swimwear, and you guys get to match Summer Sanders. So really, really cool. I love this photo of her. What an amazing woman. So great. And that is about it, guys, for the day. I'm going to stop sharing here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to Summer just tell us about her life and tell us about, some advice on motherhood, on transitioning from, swimming to a career, on talking about the best kind of suits to wear, how to take care of your suits. She's given us a lot of great information today. So hopefully you guys were taking notes. I was. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and be sure to stay tuned for our next interview coming up this next week. It's going to be fun. We'll announce who it is with on our stories, okay? And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.